Hello first year. Happy New Year and welcome back to online learning. We're going to do a little lesson today where we're going to have a wee look at what's called 1-point perspective. Now there's different types of perspective drawing. We have 1-point perspective, we have 2-point perspective, and they're used to show things in a more realistic way. So if we have a wee look outside, you can all have a wee look outside your house just now. This is certainly, I took this photograph the other day of outside my house. And it shows a good example of the other houses around me in perspective. So if you have a wee look at some of the houses in the foreground, so for example this one here, they're drawn much larger than the houses that are further away. And that's the idea we're trying to get when we're drawing things in perspective. We're trying to show that things that are closer to us are larger than things that are further away. Also our houses, if you have a wee look, you'll see that they kind of go in line. So the tops of the houses are all going in a kind of straight. Some of them are kind of further back than others. So it's kind of a curved line in this side. But if we have a wee look at this side, this side's a little more straight. And you'll see that they go in a kind of straight line at the top towards a central position which we call the vanishing point. And when you're sketching in a perspective, you'll always have 1, 2, perhaps even 3 vanishing points in your picture. This particular one just has a vanishing point in the middle, kind of like in the middle circle there. Also the bottoms of the houses, if you could see them behind the hedges, would also go towards that central vanishing point. Now we're going to have a wee look at the exercise that you're going to do today. I'm going to go over it with you first so that you know what you're doing. So if you could find perspective exercise 1 in the files section of your class. I should have sent it out as an assignment as well. So if you could open the attachment of that, you'll find that it opens a PowerPoint like this. Now you'll need to leave it on this mode. I know normally in a PowerPoint you would go to slideshow and present it, but we're actually keeping it on the mode here where we can actually manipulate it and do some lines onto it. So if you have a wee look at exercise 1, you're given some boxes and a vanishing point. So what you need to do is use the pencil tool. Now we're going to use the iPad to actually do this because I know you've not all going to have access to printers and things to print these out. If you prefer to print it out and you have a printer at home and do it with a pencil and ruler, then that's entirely your choice. But we are able to do this task with the ruler on PowerPoint. So if I go to the Draw tab, probably when you bring it up, it'll be on Home. So it'll look a bit more like this. If you go along at the tabs along the top of the page and go to Draw, you'll find there's a few different types of pen. There's a grey pencil and there's a rubber. So if you make a mistake, you can always rub it out. We've got the grey pencil is the one we're going to use for this because it's asking us to project with faint lines. So if we go into the pencil, you don't want your pencil to be too dark and too heavy. So if you click on the wee arrow below the pencil, you'll see you can change the settings here, and we've got it on quite a light grey colour, and we've also got it on a kind of medium thickness so that it's not too thin, because you won't be able to see it if it's too thin. So I'm going to come out of that again, so click on my pencil again and take that menu away because I've got all my settings done. And the other tool you need to use is the ruler. You'll see the ruler is just underneath the word transitions up the top there, and it will come up on the page with a ruler that's already at 45 degrees. You'll see there's a little angle in the middle. Now to manipulate the ruler into a different angle, which you'll need to do for this project, you'll see it moves about, no bother if you move it with your finger. But what you need to do is put 2 fingers into the centre in the middle. And if I put my 2 fingertips in the middle bit and I kind of twist them round in a wee circle, it takes a wee bit of getting used to, but you should be able to turn that. Okay, you need 2 fingers to do it, but you should be able to turn your fingers round and change the angle of it. So I'm going to do that just now, and I want it lining between the corner of my box here and my vanishing point. So it can take a wee while to get used to. Once you've kind of got it, it gets a little bit easier. Okay, so take your ruler and line it between the middle of the vanishing point and the edge of your box there. Now, we're on the pencil tool already, so once you've done that, you should be able to take your finger and run it between the corner and the vanishing point, and that will give us a pencil line there. Do you all see that? The other thing we need to do is go to the next corner. So I'm going to, again, I'm not quite used to this yet myself, so it takes me a wee while to get the angles too, so don't worry if it takes you a little while to get the angles and get used to using the ruler, because it will take us all a little bit of time to do that. But if you could get it to the next corner and pencil again, draw your next line, and you'll see I've not quite got that on the corner there, but you can work a wee bit on that. If you need to rub it out, go to your rubber at the top and just rub that line out, and then you can redo it if it's not correct and if it's not the way you'd like it. So there is scope for manoeuvring things around and changing it if you're not happy with it. Okay. You'll see now, folks, I've finished that first drawing. The second drawing, you'll need to turn the ruler round the other way. And again, same thing again. You've got the vanishing point at the bottom this time, and you are drawing your lines in. Corner to across as best you can, and again, if you make any mistakes, just use the rubber. And the next one at the bottom here is much easier if you've got a stylus. I know most of you probably don't have a stylus for this, but it's a freehand down at the bottom here, freehand sketching. So you're trying to do it without using the ruler. So kind of put your ruler out the way and try and do it freehand. It's not the easiest on the tablet. It should be easier if you're printed them out and doing it by hand, but that's probably about as good as I can get it, and I know it will be more tricky to do that one, but have a go anyway. Now we're now on to the second sheet. The second sheet we have some letters, so it's just the same principle. You'll see the first two have already been done for you. All you need to do is choose a breadth of the shape there. So what you need to do is take your ruler and put it to 0 degrees so that it's going straight across. Bring it up so that it's up just a little bit above your L-shaped one there. So I'm doing this one first. Use your grey pencil and draw a little line across the top surface. Now we're trying to go parallel to the front edge of the letter, so we're going to change it to 90 degrees now, the ruler. And where that crossed over there, I'm going to bring that down to the middle line. I don't know if I'm quite there, so I'm just going to put it back on and try and bring it down a wee little bit more. Back to 0 degrees. Oh, there we are. Round and down, and then back to 90 again, and finish that one off. Okay, so I've given my L shape a thickness. On to T now, same thing. You're going to put your ruler to 0 degrees, try and get your line across the top surface there, round to 90, and down. Oh, it's just a little bit too tiny there. And then this one's a little bit more tricky. So what I'm going to do for this one is I'm going to take that surface back to my vanishing point. This little corner here. Draw a wee faint line in there so that I can see where that would meet at the back. Sometimes when you've been changing the angle, the ruler moves with your finger. It doesn't let you move the stylus. So that would be a wee imaginary line underneath, but that just gives me a position for this bottom line here. So it means I'm drawing that little bottom line, just lining up with that corner there. Okay, and then once you're done, you could rub that wee line back out so that it looks, you're only left with the ones that you should have. Okay, the H, you need to do both. I'm not going to go over these, but you need to do both. You need to go up to your vanishing point with all the corners and then put your depth in like you have in these exercises. Moving on to the next page, if we look at, it's got someone's name on it. If you go on to this today, if you could try and write your name in kind of block letters, kind of like bubble letters, you can do that freehand or with the ruler if you prefer. Obviously the ruler, it will take you longer to do, but I'll leave that entirely up to you. So if I get a pencil and I was going to do my surname, it might look something like that. But if you can use the ruler, use the ruler. If you can't, then don't, but try and use the ruler if you're doing the actual lines to the vanishing point, because it just keeps them an awful lot neater than if you try and do it freehand. So when you're going to do your lines to the vanishing point, just try and use the ruler. It just keeps those construction lines nice and neat. So have a wee go at that one today. Next day we'll move on to the more complicated ones. I know the booklet has more than that in it. If you would quite like to attempt them, you'll see it's some furniture and things. If you want to attempt them, you can. But I will be going over them next week for you so that you can follow the video if you're having difficulty. Take care everybody. I hope you're all well and good. and I will see you next week at the same time.